Hi guys, Vino here, and welcome to this Vino Plunk production. And I think there's a certain feeling in the air. And seeing as this is my new setup, trying out, it once again, I think it's time to christen it with a time for a cuppa. Oh, and it's a bloody fine cup of coffee, I must say. I'm actually drinking. I know this is going to be reversed for you guys, but I'm actually drinking this Illy Ethiopian. And really stupidly, the reason why I wanted this particular one is just the sound of the tin. It's very satisfying to take the tin lid on and off. And for some reason, that drew me to the coffee. But the coffee is actually really nice. I think there's a fairly recent thing, or at least I haven't seen them around much. So they're fairly recent for me. So I thought I'd give them a go. And it's actually really nice coffee. Some really strong caramelly and chocolatey notes. Really, really nice coffee. So, how are you guys doing? Hopefully you are doing very, very well. Me, I'm doing fantastic. It's currently 1 o'clock in the morning on the 17th of April, 2023. And I thought I'd record this little time for a cuppa for a few reasons. One of the main reasons is I'm actually going to show off the equipment I'm using at the moment to record the videos, because it seems on one of my last videos, one of the comments that was left is somebody seems a little confused as to the fact that I've got a USB to XLR cable, and they were kind of like, how can you go from XLR to USB? It's an analog input to a digital input. How on earth are you managing that? So I thought I'd show it off in this video. I'm going to be switching to this headset mic in a moment. It's going to sound a lot worse, in my opinion, because I just did a little test, little A/B test, and to be honest, this sounds a lot worse than this, and I'm really happy with how this sounds in comparison. I wasn't actually sure how much better this sounded. I've actually got some filters applied and all that kind of stuff on it now, and I think it sounds really good personally, but I actually did some A/B testing a few minutes ago, and yeah, the difference is night and day as far as I'm concerned. So I'm really happy with how it all sounds, and I'm really happy with this setup now. But the other reason that I wanted to do a time for a cuppa is because over the weekend I popped to I'm not going to say precisely where, but I popped on a short train trip to get some DVDs, and there will be a DVD update on that. I picked up some Star Trek DVDs, Farscape, Andromeda, and Babylon 5, the Babylon 5 Ultimate Collection. I've actually it's a return to the collection, that one, and I'm really happy it's back in the collection, because a little bit of a story. I bought that Babylon 5 Ultimate Collection, DVD collection, way back in the day when I actually got fired from my previous job. The first time I got fired from my previous job, for that matter. And I actually bought it as a gift to myself when I got reinstated there. So, and then years later, I ended up selling that set. I think actually one of the few times I actually made a profit, technically, at CX. Because the thing about CX, which if you don't live in the UK, CX is a franchised pawn shop chain. And they specialise in DVDs, Blu-rays, anything media, basically, from electronics to media, game consoles, that sort of stuff. They don't take like rings or necklaces or jewelry or guitars. They take electrical items or media-based items such as DVDs and games and that kind of stuff. Recently, they've been getting into retro gaming. So if you've got any retro games that you want to sell, I'm not sponsored by them, not even in the slightest, to be honest. But, if you got any retro games that are collecting dust, you never know. You may get a pretty penny from CX, because some of the games they're selling, they've got an NES game in the window right now for like £70. So you never know. You may get a bit of extra of the green stuff, as you might call it. It's always worth it to have a little look. But where was I going with that? Yeah, so basically when I sold Babylon 5, that's where I was going with that. Because CX use eBay prices, or used to use eBay prices to price up their items, there are actually some situations we can actually gain money by selling things to CX. Very rare when it happens, but it can happen. Apparently. It can happen I've done it on a couple of occasions, and it is always a good feeling when you manage to get one over on CX, because yeah, how can I put this delicately? I'm going to say this very quietly, but CX are just feels nice when you get one over on them. If you get one, I'm trying to go with that. Much like when you get someone who tries to get someone over on you, when you get something over on them back, it feels really good, kind of like that situation. I'm trying not to be too specific, obviously, but you get where I'm going with that. And I had to sell the original version of Babylon 5 for reasons. Wasn't particularly happy when I had to sell it, but really happy it's now back in the collection. Passed on one of the box sets to somebody else. But I actually went down to CX to trade in a few bits and bobs to get a box set. Hello? The camera seems to have decided to either pack up or... Okay. Not entirely sure what that was all about, but the camera decided to pack up. I do apologise for that. So here we are again. But yeah, I went down to CX to trade a few things to get a particular box set. And I have the box set here. I'm going to go and get it. This will be featured more prominently in a video coming up. But it is the Mad Max 4K Steelbook box set that is absolutely beautiful and glorious. Zavvi, this is actually a Zavvi exclusive, or either I've got it from CX, are actually doing a few of these now. There's another one they've done, which is a Matrix Steelbook collection. Looks really, really nice, I must say. I'm not sure if Zavvi are doing these, or the various studios. I just realised that Warner Brothers... that Matrix is Warner Brothers as well, and this was Warner Brothers. So maybe it's Warner Brothers that are doing these really nice sort of steel tin, steelbook box sets. This is a really, really nice box. I've had my eye on this for a while. I'm glad I managed to get it for good price as far as I'm concerned from CX. But they gypped me. They gypped me £23, basically. For two of the items, they gave me the cash price rather than the voucher price, and the voucher price is higher. So I'm in talks with their customer service department, if you will, on Facebook in order to maybe get this rectified. So I'll keep you guys in the loop depending on what happens in regards to that. Now, I'm going to switch over to this headset, which, as I said, does sound a lot worse than this one, but I'm going to switch to this mic rather than that mic. Keep knocking it. It is going to sound a lot worse, but, you know, if I need to show you off things to this set and unplug things, then you're not going to be able to hear me. So here we go. So as I said, it is going to sound a lot worse in my opinion, but I'm doing this to sort of show you guys how I've got this all set up, to sort of show that person who last time was like, how can you get XLR to USB? Well, this is how. So I have here, this is a Phantom power supply. Connected to the Phantom power supply is the USB-B power cable, just fits directly into there. It's plugged into one of my USB ports. There's a switch on the back that you can turn on and off, and it just gives a blinking light like that when it's on. And then you've got an input that goes from the mic straight into the Phantom power supply, and this is the connector that was probably confusing the person the other day. So you've got an output there. I know it's backwards for you, but you can clearly see this as output. Got a gold cable on one end, braided, and it's got a USB on the other end. You can tell it's the same cable because you see the gold sort of motif. But there you go. XLR to USB, and has a light on it. Given that this is a much larger USB sort of dongly kind of thing than it normally is, I'm guessing the DAC, which is the digital
analog converter is inside there, which is why you're able to do this. So we then grab the phantom power supply, we plug the XLR back into there. We get ourselves terribly tangled up. And then we grab the USB cable and we plug that back into here. We double check that the light's on, the light is on, and then we
switch on over back, and hopefully it sounds a lot better. But there you go. That's simply how the setup works. XLR from the mic into the phantom power supply, and then XLR to USB from that into my computer, and it works pretty damn well. As long as you use your computer essentially as the audio interface, then as far as I'm concerned, it all works pretty damn well. And that was just to show that you can, of course, achieve this setup. The person is right when they said that you need a digital to audio converter, but as I said, given how big that USB end is, I'm guessing there's a DAC inside there. So there you go. That's how I achieved it. Yes, if you were doing a audio setup, you would have it into an interface, and to be honest, to have the XLR thing straight into an interface would probably be better. And I am looking into interfaces down the road. We'll see where that goes. But for now, I'm perfectly happy with this setup. But yeah, thought I'd do this little video, have a little time for a cuppa, talk about the unfortunateness of CEX, and talk about my little setup as I have it now. But until next time, guys, please take care, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day. Cheerio.